Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me / girl talk video. So basically I've already done my hair, as you can see, in a little slick back bow, but I'm going to be doing my skincare and makeup while I talk to you guys about any questions or anything you've sent me regarding girl struggles. So a bunch of you guys sent me tons and tons of questions, so I'm going to be going through them while I get ready. Since I'm just starting off with my skincare, I'm going to be putting hyaluronic acid on, then some sunscreen, and then some moisturiser with some instant bronzing drops. The first question I got asked is, have you ever been to therapy, and if so, did it help? Personally, yes, I have been to therapy before. It wasn't necessarily my choice, so it's something that I had to go through when I was younger, due to some big changes in my life. So because I was at a younger age, obviously I don't really remember much of it, but I found that it was really good to go and talk to someone that, you know, wasn't in my immediate family or my friends, and therefore I could say anything without having that judgment, if that makes sense. It helps me understand my feelings more and be able to express them and understand them better, because I think when you are younger, as well as when you're older as well, but sometimes you can have some feelings that you're not sure how to cope with. For instance, is grief. Obviously grief is a feeling that you only experience at certain points of your life, and when you do, you've never had to feel it before, so you're unaware of how to cope with it or how to deal with it. I think it's important to seek help, especially if you need it. So if you are thinking about starting therapy, then even if you think it might not be for you, it might be worth even just trying it, because you never know what could suit you. It could be that you find talking to someone helps you understand your feelings better. It could be writing your feelings down. There's a bunch of different ways that you can go about having therapy, and it doesn't even need to be for one thing. Therapy can be for tons of things to do with, you know, life changes or your relationships or friendships. So I definitely would recommend therapy personally, because from my experience anyway, it helps me understand my feelings a lot. But like I said, therapy's not for everybody. It just kind of works for some, doesn't work for others, but I would definitely say that it's worth giving a go if you feel like you're struggling to understand your feelings. So I'm just gonna let that set in while I read you guys the next question. As a teenage girl, I struggle to find ways to be motivated and productive. Any advice? So obviously, depending on what age you are, as a teenager, I think if you're in your early teenage years, then you definitely don't need to worry about being productive and being motivated to do stuff. You are literally still young. Just enjoy your life. Don't stress about the future, because you have plenty of time to do that, trust me. But if you are at that age, I'd say like 16 going older, then you are starting to prepare for things, for big changes like exams or stuff that can become stressful, like friendships and relationships. So I think being motivated and being productive is definitely a good step into when you're becoming an adult, but definitely don't rush to try and be like that. So my advice, if you're struggling to stay motivated and be productive, is try and have set routines. So when you wake up in the morning, whether you're going to school or you're going to your job, whatever it is you're doing, make sure that you're waking up in the morning and not going straight on your phone. You're doing something productive, like reading your book or writing in your journal or go on a walk, and use that as a kind of starting point for your day. Because once you wake up, if you wake up, halfway through the day, sit and rot in your bed, then you're going to get nothing done the rest of the day. Whereas if you wake up and think, no, I want to get this done, I want to get this done, and as soon as you wake up, you push yourself, then you're constantly going to be pushing yourself throughout the day, which is going to end in you having bigger and better results. I would also say to focus on why you want to make that comeback and why you want to improve your life, because if you truly want something, then you need to realise you've got to work hard for it. It's not just going to come, on a silver plate. That's why it takes years for people to become doctors or lawyers, because you can't just earn something because you want it so bad. If you want it so bad, then you're going to work hard to get it. And the first step into doing that is finding motivation within yourself to reach these goals. So obviously it doesn't need to be anything huge, like, studying for 4 hours of the day or going on, a huge marathon run. Even if you just start off small, like, for example, waking up in the morning and not going on your phone for the first hour, or before you go to bed, read a book for an hour or 20 minutes instead of being on your phone. That way your brain is starting to switch off, you're going to bed at an earlier time, you're having more sleep, which ends up you feeling more energized in the morning. There's so many benefits to you being productive, and it all ties in together. Trust me, it all ties in together once you start working towards them. Another question I got was, I want to get over my ex even though I'm seeing someone new, but all I can think of is my ex. Any tips? Personally, everybody's different, but for me anyway, I would not recommend dating someone if you feel as if you still have feelings for someone else, because I believe that just isn't fair on like the other person or yourself. You're wanting to start growing, not kind of like staying back and being trapped in what might have been an unhealthy relationship, depending on how it ended, obviously. I would work on what's good in your relationship the now, and if you can't see what is good, then I personally wouldn't be with anybody, because you need to work on yourself and get over these challenges like your ex. Again, depending on how it ended, they might have not been a good person for you. You might have just, not had that chemistry. But either way, you need to focus on yourself and what matters to you, rather than stuff that has happened in the past that might be holding you back from, growing into your future. Moving on to the next question. My friend left me in the middle of the night alone in the city to go to a party. What would you do? Wow. Personally, if my friend had done that, I would not be happy with them at all. I believe that when you go out with your friends or just anyone in the city, you should stick together all the time, because you never know what can happen. Like, things and people can be really scary, especially at night when, some people are under the influence and, don't know how to handle themselves properly. But I would not be happy with my friend at all, and I'm assuming that from the question you're not either. So what I would do is, obviously first make sure you get home safe, and I would kind of hold back your anger until the morning, and then I would speak to your friend, when you are sober. Probably face to face would be better, because from my experience anyway, trying to talk to people online, like through phones or through text messages, never works. You never get your point across, and it always just gets taken out of context. But yeah, I would speak to your friend when you are sober, and I would basically just explain how it made you feel, and you know, realistically, you wouldn't do that to them. It's not a nice thing to do, especially when you've came in together. You should be leaving together or staying together the whole night. And if they don't understand that, or they don't see, you know, your point and how it made you feel, then I would probably just avoid going out with them again. And if they get mad at you or ask why, then I would just say, because I don't feel safe when I go out with you, because, you know, you could just get up and leave me, or, you know, not stay with me the whole night, which I don't appreciate. Because as much as you've got to look out for each other, you got to look out for yourself as well. So I wouldn't put yourself in a position where you feel like you could be putting yourself at risk by going out with someone you know could just leave you like that. How would you suggest handling a situation where your best friend is drifting away from you and becoming closer to someone else? Is there a specific way to cope? Can I make it any easier for myself? So I have been in this kind of situation before. Usually it's something that happens quite a lot with like trios. Like, I think, what's the saying? Like, there's always a saying that in trios there's always the duo, and then that one person that like walks behind the duo while they're walking type thing. Like, I find that so funny because it literally is so real as well. I was young when this had happened, and personally I regret not saying anything or doing anything about it now. If it happened to me now, I would 100% bring it up and be like, oh, listen, you know, I hope like this, I'm totally wrong and that yous aren't meaning to come across this way. However, like, yous being like this is making me feel kind of left out, kind of isolated, and I was just wondering if, you know, there was anything yous wanted to tell me, or if I was doing anything. That way that instead of it being kind of unspoken, you've brought it to their attention, because like 9 times out of 10 they probably aren't doing it maliciously or with intent, so it gives them an opportunity to reflect on how they're being and obviously how they're making another one of their best friends feel. The best thing is to be honest with your best friend, and even try becoming closer with this other person as well. Like, don't be a hater. Like, I love being a girl's girl, and so if one of my best friends introduced me to another one of their best friends, then I would absolutely love that. I'd love to meet them. I'd love to go out on, you know, a wee girls' date with the 3 of us. Because you never know, you might then also really click with that person and become a cute wee group. So give them the opportunity to include you in things, and make sure that you're still getting involved and still getting thought of in the friendship, rather than kind of pushed aside when it comes to the two. If your friend, however, doesn't understand how her actions or their actions are making you feel, then I would probably just start focusing on your other friendships, because there's nothing worse than putting your all into a friendship, being there for someone just for them to find other people and kind of ditch you. It's not a great feeling at all. So this question I actually loved so much. It was, I'm a lad, so apologies if this question is inappropriate or malicious. I don't intend my question to be like that. So as a girl, do you feel like you always have to be dressed or presented to a higher standard than what a guy would be, and if so, why? So first off the bat, I just wanted to clarify that although this is a girl talk video and I talk about girl struggles, guys and anyone else is welcome to leave comments or seek advice about these things, because I think it's important for any gender to know, you know, what girls can go through or what happens, like especially if it's to do with the female body or some struggles that girls might face. But it's not even that, like some of the things like friendships and relationships, it might not even just be something that a girl's experiencing, but also a guy might be experiencing it. So please don't think that just because you're a guy or go by anything else other than a woman that you can't ask these questions or seek advice for things. I'm not even an expert in being a girl myself, so although I might not know as much about, you know, guys and what they might go through, I can talk from the perspective of being a girl. Any guys, gals watching this video, you can 100% leave any comments or any advice regardless of who you are or what you identify by. Back to the question. I personally love dressing up. As you can probably tell, the video before this was literally me picking out a bunch of outfits and styling them. So personally, it makes me feel more confident and happier being able to express myself through my outfits. For some girls, it also can be the same, or it can also be to grab someone's attention. If you're going to dress up, and even though it might be to impress someone, you should always do it to make yourself feel happy and not someone else, if that makes sense. So if you're going out on a date, obviously you're going to want to look nice, you're going to want to smell nice, you're probably going to put a little bit of makeup on. However, if you're with someone or meeting someone that tells you like, oh, I don't like you without makeup, or oh, I don't like you wearing that, then no, not it. Because you should be wearing and putting on your face what makes you feel good and what you like. And that might be a lot of makeup, that might be not much, but you do you. Don't let anybody else kind of wash that spark out of you just because you're wearing something that they might like or not like. I think some women, specifically teenage girls, can also feel quite self-conscious, and that is more of a biological thing for women more than men. And I think more of a society thing as well, that girls compare themselves so much to each other, especially at a younger age, whether it's to do with weight or clothing or, you know, looks wise. Like, girls compare themselves so much, and it can become so toxic to the point where they literally thrive in trying to be someone else rather than being who they are, which is something that I hate. You should always try and be yourself. Don't try copy someone. Be inspired, of course, be inspired, but don't try and be someone else, because you are your own beautiful person. You have your own beautiful things about you. You shouldn't try and copy someone just because you think, you know, they look good or they're getting loads of attention. You can't change who you are. You shouldn't need to change who you are. People should like you and love you for who you are rather than who you are when you're trying to be someone else. Women are more generally self-conscious than men. Not saying that men aren't self-conscious, but I think biologically, when going through puberty, there is a lot more challenges, I believe, that girls face in regards to their appearance, and putting on a little bit of makeup or putting on a cute outfit is what makes me feel confident and me feel good, and it can cheer me up as well. Don't get me wrong, I can feel confident without putting makeup on. Even just wearing a cute outfit can make me feel better, but I think if I'm going through a day where I don't like the way my body looks, or I don't like the way my skin's looking, or I'm just wanting to feel a bit more brighter, then I will put on a little bit of makeup, because I believe it is there to help enhance beauties and enhance features in girls. and it shouldn't be used in a toxic sense to try and put people down or make people feel more insecure. Say hi. Hi YouTube. I don't think you guys have seen Milo in a long time. Milo's not been feeling well recently. Because he's had a sore tummy. Haven't you? You've had a sore tummy. I say so snatched, that's literally the chunkiest little bubby I've seen. Are you cozy? Are you having a good day? Anyways, moving on to the next question after getting sidetracked. I wasn't honest about something to my boyfriend and he broke up with me, but it was a mistake. I never wanted this to happen. I miss him and everyone keeps telling me he will come back, but I don't know. I'm really sorry to hear that, gal. Nothing is worse than going through a breakup, especially when, you know, things were probably going well and you didn't expect it to happen. You know, people make mistakes and it's okay, because depending on obviously how big the mistake was, if you really care about this boy and if you really want to work on yourself and work on the relationship to make sure that nothing like that will ever happen again, then you need to prove that to him, and you need to make up for your actions, because it is hard to gain back somebody's trust once you've lost it. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it is hard. I think you could take this time to start focusing on yourself. Like I've said before, focus on yourself, focus on improving your life. It's not the worst being single, trust me. As much as I love having a boyfriend, you have so much freedom when you're single, so much money you can spend on yourself. It shouldn't be the end of the world just because something hasn't worked out for you guys, but hopefully if you talk about it more, if you try and make up for it, then you'll just need to see whatever happens, but I can promise you that whatever will happen will be for the best. Whether that is you getting back together or not, you could find someone new, although trust me, right now you probably don't want to. It might just be for the better to move on, and maybe you can even stay as friends. But yeah, I would focus on yourself right now. Give him some space that he might need, and then work on how you're going to improve that honesty towards him and try build even a friendship back up. Don't hop straight back into it. Because I think rushing things can sometimes be what makes it even worse than what it began with, and I'm sure that whatever happens will be for the better. I think I'm nearly done now. I'll give you a total thingy of the makeup look at the end. Mental health struggles and what can help. I think referring back to the therapy one, I would definitely suggest trying therapy if you haven't already. Like I said, works for some people, doesn't for others. It's just a kind of matter of what works best for you. Talking to your friends helps, or a family member. Trying whatever it is you're struggling with at the moment. If it's something like body dysmorphia, then, you know, going to the gym, not to change your body or, you know, try fix things about you, but even just going to the gym to better your mental health, or going out a walk. There's a tons of things that you can do to help your mental health. I don't think I've said it yet in this video, but if you are struggling, then even though I'm not, you know, licensed therapist or anything, I'm always here to have a chat with you guys, or, you know, to just listen to how you're feeling or what's happening in your life right now, especially if you're not able to understand it or know how to feel about what's going on right now. I'm always here, and I'm always here to listen and help in any way that I can. When I'm having a really bad mental health day, one thing I like doing is writing in my journal. It's still getting decorated now, but look how cute with the bows and the hearts and the Spider-Man Harry Styles. I love it. But yeah, one thing I like doing is writing in my journal how I'm feeling. I have literally wrote a whole page before on just an absolute brain dump of what was going on in my head, something that I was just struggling with at the time. Getting it down into paper is a great way to just express it and let it go. Definitely think that if you're struggling now, definitely see if you can reach out to someone or try any of these things, because it's so important to look after yourself and look after your mental health, and you always need to make sure that you're putting yourself first rather than anyone or anything else in your life. Anyway, this is the finished look for today. She is glowing, she is feeling snatched and feeling good. I have literally not got any plans for the day. I literally have just sat and put on makeup for no reason, but I feel good and I look good, so I'm not complaining. Anyway guys, that will be the end of the video today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope that if you sent a question today, I answered it the best way that I could and you got a little bit out of watching this video to cheer you up or help you in the future. Hey guys, so this is me currently editing this video right now. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody that showed me so much love on my last video. It absolutely completely just blew up overnight. It's currently sitting at 8.6k views and 297 likes, which is insane. I honestly cannot tell you how grateful and how shocked I am. I have went from I think 193 subscribers when that video was uploaded to now 572, which is just unbelievable to say. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly put it in that I am so grateful for you guys, for all of you that have came now and for the ones that have been there since the start of my videos. Just honestly, I cannot thank you guys enough. I do these videos to share my experiences with you and to just document my life. Seeing so many people enjoy them and want to be a part of my journey as well is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, thank you guys so much. As always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night, and I love doing these, so please, if you'd like to see more of them, let me know, and yeah, I'll do something like this again. So I'll see you guys later.